YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Today we're going to be talking about the recently released Kamen Rider Faiz Paradise Regained trailer. Or is it Regained? Yes, it's Regained, I think as in reference to the Paradise Lost movie. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this. News about it's been around for a while, but since I'm trying to cover Rider content more regularly, I thought, why not? Not to mention, Gotchard's been pretty boring, so I wanted something kind of different to talk about. So this movie will be releasing in February 2024. I'm just going to be doing kind of a general talk about the trailer, not necessarily a shot-for-shot breakdown. But the general plot is it takes place 20 years after the end of the series. Smart Brain has restored with the goal of wiping out the Orphanok, and we're going to have a new Kamen Rider in there named Kamen Rider Muse who's going to be there. I also think I remember hearing something about the fact that in this movie, Takumi is going to be seemingly working with Smart Brain, which is kind of interesting. The trailer just kind of shows off the returning cast and stuff like that. We got Takumi back, we got Kaiza back. We also got Delta back, which I think is funny. Not funny just because I think about Delta like how I remember him because he was so forgettable, if that makes any sense. I just remember like Delta started off as like a villain, and then that mantle just kept changing places until it went to the reluctant guy, and he was just like the most forgettable man on the planet. But I think it's because I just remember thinking how forgettable he is that I remember him, which sucks because I think that's my favorite of the core suits. I think we also have Mio back, which I'm thinking like, oh, there's love triangle stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, that was Kiva, because this actress was also in Kiva. But we got a good chunk, or basically the main core cast of the series, which is overall really nice. We've been having a lot of these returns movies lately, more so in Sentai recently. Obviously we had the O's one, which I still have to watch. I probably should cover that. But it's really nice to be able to get all these characters back. We also, of course, get a look at Kamen Rider Muse, our new character, and her new suit, which is actually pretty cool. I actually really dig the suits in this. We have the Muse suit, and then we have both Faiz and Kaiza getting these new upgrades. They're not like my favorite, but I think I like them more than like the other Faiz upgrades. I always liked Axel form okay, but I always felt Buster was pretty boring. It just basically felt like, or Buster. Is it Buster? Blaster? Blaster. Blaster was pretty boring because I felt like it was just basically a repaint. It wasn't like it was awful, had cool weapon and stuff. It was just, I guess, like, kind of boring. Like, these are a little bit more, feel like unique, and it feels like they're kind of designed based off of more modern standards, I guess. And also, this was a series, it's funny watching this trailer, actually. Thinking back to like a different time in Rider, when Rider felt different, I hate to sound like that old, like, oh, back in my day, but Rider did used to have a distinctly different mood, and Faiz definitely had that, compared to now where it feels like they're two sides of the same coin. And even just thinking about the protagonist like Takumi, who isn't an absolute twerp like Gotchard, it takes me back, and I miss when, not even so much about the protagonist. I mean, I do miss not having twerpy protagonists, but I do miss when Rider had a much more distinctive mood, and it really does take you back to that era, just seeing this cast and these characters and stuff like that. We also see a little bit of his Orphanok Wolf form in there. You got some Ryo troopers. Like I said, it's interesting to see, I kind of got away from that point, the new forms, because that was a series, again, talking back to the way Rider was, and just in terms of, like, it was a different mood, but also, it was different in terms of the toy aspect. Like, the toy aspect has always been there, but it wasn't as over-the-top back with Faiz. Like, Faiz was the only one to really get power-ups or anything. Kaiza and Delta didn't have them. You had a handful of other Riders, like, the Rail Troopers and stuff, and Delta and Saiga, and stuff like that from the movies. But, it was really only Faiz that got basically his main mode, Axel, and then Blaster. And so this is kind of cool to see Kaiza get a form, and it kind of takes like modern day sensibilities of like, oh, we'll bring back the secondary Rider and give him a power up, and brings it into this trailer. But yeah, it looks overall pretty solid. I feel like the setup possibly of Takumi, fighting against them is just an excuse for these idiots to fight each other, but it could be pretty interesting. I don't want to necessarily say I'm super excited by this. I guess I'm kind of looking forward to it because, like I said, Gotchard's really not been my thing, and I'm excited a little bit, I guess, for content for Rider. That's a little bit more of what I like about Rider. I just mean, like, I only like Faiz okay. I don't, like, dislike it or anything. I found it to be a pretty solid series, actually. It had a really weird actual, like, pacing of, like, it had a good wanna watch the next episode factor, and yet it was kind of depressing. So, like, you kept wanting to watch more episodes, but it didn't leave you in the best mood. And it ended on kind of a weird note. But I don't necessarily have, like, a nostalgia fondness for it. Like, I was excited for the Hurricane Ranger and Abba Ranger team-ups, or returns, because I really like those series. And Deca Ranger, I'm not as excited about for Sentai because I didn't like Deca Ranger as much, but I'm probably a little bit more looking forward to that just because I'm a little more nostalgic for watching Deca Ranger than Faiz. I don't necessarily have an affection for Faiz, but I don't dislike it, so it's kind of in a weird place. But it looks interesting enough, and I'll probably check it out if Gotchard is still boring me, but What do you guys think of the trailer here? Are you going to check out this movie? Is Faiz one of your favorite series? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. It's Awesome Rider, signing out.